The enkindler is the light, but someone must carry the flame. Allow me. I will carry it. If you will have me, of course. Until the bell rock stands before us and I fall. Then one of you must pick up the torch and guide the rest. And although I have lost and will lose many along the way, allow me to be your guide, to be the bearer of the torch until I fall. Allow me to be your humble guide, and allow me to introduce myself. Here I am known as Nicholas, so good to see you, bloody gay, and the realm I came from. I am known as Second Death. Good evening. Pictures often speak infinite words, and my God, there were a few today. One is even difficult for me to look at. It makes me ill, for the devil is all over it. But I will save that for later. Let's start with this. Caroline Levitt announced that Belgium joined Trump's Board of Peace. Belgium's foreign minister responds. Maxime Prevot. And his post looks like that. Belgium has not, and that's in caps. Donnie lies about everything. You cunts. And you know who I'm talking to. Belgium has not, in all caps, that's how much of a goddamn lie it is, signed the Charter of the Board of Peace. This announcement is incorrect. We wish for a common and coordinated European response. As many European countries, we have reservations to the proposal. You people really need to get to the point where you speak in plain language. The whole world is over. We're teetering on the edge, and it is over. It's guaranteed. But you need to understand that, one, world leaders. Two, you need to say in plain English, Europe does not want to be part of your billion-dollar grift as you take over the world. And we don't want to make you king. We don't want to be under you in any way. My God. Again, little children. I know that this has all been normalized. All the Satan's been normalized and shit. But we're at the point where the president of the United States is asking, not asking, telling every country to give him $1 billion that he will manage personally for nothing. He will just take a Sharpie and write your name, Belgium, whatever, if he can remember it, on a piece of paper that says you're a member. We're way beyond grift, son. We're way beyond, this is kind of evil and fucked up, kind of crooked, normal crooked. Oh no, we way over the we way over the rainbow, over the top. You know where we at? Antichrist land. This motherfucker thinks he's king of the world, and he's demanding from every country. And he will seek retribution against your country if you do not give him $1 billion and make him king of the board of peace. And you co-sign all that. Read Revelation, you're in it. Right now. Donnie's lied about every deal we can think of. Trade deals, peace deals, every fucking thing. 5 minutes later, all the people he said made it this historic fucking deal with him. They don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Here we go again, and this is a big one. Again, it appears to be Donnie's way of being king of the earth. Every country gives him tribute, the money, signs a thing that says, you're ahead of this board that every country's a member of, the whole world. You run it, you control the money, you make the decisions. You are king. Recognize where the fuck you at. Because this shit way beyond my wildest dreams. Yeah, I knew all would happen, but not how exactly all it would play out. I didn't know a board of peace would exist. The man of peace. I told you for years, and especially right before the election, right after he won, that this man of peace idea is literally prophesied in the fucking Bible in multiple places, in these end times prophecies, that's specifically how the Antichrist will present himself. Now, when I read that as a young man over the decades, I thought he'd appear to be a real man of peace, not an utter warmonger that just signs a piece of paper and then people are killing each other again the next day. All fraud, all fake, all just facade, all nothing. But it is the deal, and that deal was prophesied as well, son. That's why I'm fucking here. And I told you it would happen ahead of time. I told you he'd make it. And he made it. Doesn't matter whether it's true world peace or peace between the Jews and Palestinians. It doesn't have to be legitimate. In fact, it makes more logical sense now that I've watched so much of it play out. It would be the direct opposite. Every miracle will be an abject fraud. Described that this Antichrist and false prophet would do. Every peace deal and agreement would be abject fraud and would be reneged upon, of course. That Israel peace deal specifically is supposed to be reneged upon. That is prophesied. So this is Donnie's way of being king of the world. Do you understand what you're witnessing? And he's trying to extort every country that can come up with it for $1 billion. The entire globe, son. All nations. When Donnie was asked about the Board of Peace, I want all nations to join. Yeah, I bet. Because each nation represents $1 billion in your goddamn bank account. Of course you want all nations to fucking join. And he gets to be king and control the money and decisions. Sounds like a great deal for one man. The man who made the peace deal. The man who wants to create has created it, a world organization where all countries join, that he's in charge of. He's king, he makes all the policy, he controls all the money. New World Order, one world government, one world king, Caesar, that will demand your worship. Like so many of the old world leaders, Egypt, whatever, Greece, many other places, kingdoms, the leader wanted to be worshipped as God. Rome. That's what you're witnessing. But this is the real motherfucker. This is the motherfucker written up for thousands of years. The most evil. And he gonna do it all. And he gonna be king of the world for a minute. Why? Because he's the Antichrist. And the devil wants to be king of the world. Wants to take Christ and God's place. He will attempt to do it via his Antichrist called Donnie. I'm as stunned as you when I realized it was him. Believe me. I know we all expected much more intellect, charm, all of it. Nope. That's not what the devil is, son. Never was, never will be. The devil is a 3-year-old who thinks he can beat up his father. No intellect, no genius. Just evil. Just ignorance. Just, I can beat up my daddy, who created me, who's all powerful. That's logical. No, that's a 3-year-old toddler's thinking. That's what the imp is. That's all he ever was, ever will be. That's what Donnie is. That's why he picked him. Just like him. My point is, you're watching a body that is already created, that Donnie is the head of, gets to be king of. All nations pay tribute to him. They all sign on. He controls the money. They make decisions all around the globe. Peace negotiations and all that blah, blah. That's just the foot in the door. That description. What does it really mean, class? What are you witnessing again? They will govern the world. That's what you're witnessing. The blanket called, all these peace negotiations around the globe, this is what this Board of Peace will handle. No, they will govern. Transitional government was mentioned in the description as well. What they're doing in Gaza, Kushner gave a speech today, talked about, we want to do that in various places. Yeah, I bet you do. Come in and rule a land, build whatever you want, make all the rules. You have no tie to the place, you could fucking care less. All happening. Donnie's it. You're in it. It's the end. I'd pay attention. Whatever you think is important, like I said, is not. So Belgium didn't sign. This is Bartiromo and Donnie. I can't show you the picture because I took the screenshot when it was a black screen. Sorry. You've taken a 10% stake in Intel. You've taken a stake in MP. You've told defense companies, don't pay dividends, don't do buybacks. So please explain to our audience, how is that free market capitalism? Donnie, well, it's very free market. No, it isn't. It's straight communism. What you people allege to know what it is, 1. And hate, 2. Unless the handout's for you. It's literal communism. You people believe in nothing, like I said. Sorry. And it's Donnie taking percentages. You ain't going to see none of that money. Now, if the government was taking percentages and sending checks to us, since every company known to man's, every large company has had its hand out to the government at some point, gotten welfare like a motherfucker. That's your money. From the socialists. And you know my philosophy, if you're going to come to the socialists, us, and ask for 500 million, a billion, 500 billion, whatever, okay, we get a percentage now. You want to do socialism? Let's do it. You like that part of socialism. You greedy cunts. Because you don't have to touch your money, your portfolio money. You scumbags. You don't like the part where the profits get shared, though. That's the evil devil part, right? No, that's the Jesus-y part. That's why you cunts don't like it. Literally. That's the Jesus-y part of socialism. Where the peasants get a check for the money they fucking gave your deadbeat asses that came a begging with your hand out for welfare. That's why you hate it, though. That's why it gets demonized. That's the devil, and the devil is you. A shame so many stupid peasants preach the same gospel as their corporate masters preach. If only they were smarter, maybe we'd still have a country. Maybe we'd still have a world. But we don't. Too late. Sorry. Trump's Board of Peace about to be unveiled in Davos. All EU nations except Hungary have refused to join. So Europe said fuck off, except for Hungary, and they crooked as fuck. And Ron Filipkowski says at least they got Viktor Orban. Of course they fucking did. Giving you the lowdown on the New World Order. This is Jack Smith. He testified publicly today what the Republicans did not want him to do. Remember that? They wanted to do behind closed doors, and they run on Fox News and lie about everything that happened. Why didn't they want you to see it, Rubes? Because they traitors, you traitors, Donnie's a traitor, and Jack proved it. Trump, this is a quote, Trump was charged because the evidence established that he willfully broke the law. The very laws he took an oath to uphold. Grand juries in 2 separate districts reached this conclusion based on his actions. Rather than accept his defeat in 2020, Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results and prevent the lawful transfer of power. Yeah, we know. We watched it on TV. Withheld help, too, on top of it. Intentionally, while cops were getting beat. You're the party that loves the cops, right? And the cops vote with you guys, right? After leaving office in January 2021, Trump illegally kept classified documents at Mar-a-Lago Social Club and repeatedly tried to obstruct justice to conceal his continued retention of those documents. Highly sensitive national security information was held in a ballroom and bathroom. Yeah, we know. We saw the pictures when the FBI raided it because Donnie told the FBI to fuck off. They're mine. Because Donnie's an abject goddamn traitor for his coup, and he's guilty of espionage, in my opinion, for his stealing of thousands of classified documents. There's only one reason to do that, son. He didn't want to keep them as keepsakes, like I keep hearing idiots say out loud. No one fucking actually believes that. You don't take 3,000 classified documents unless you intend on sharing them at the least or selling them at the most. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows why he took them. And if you're smart, you know Vlad has every one of those documents now. And God knows who else. You fucking traitors and that traitor. That's why. That's something I used to say back in the day. 9, 8, 7 years ago. You're traitors by proxy. You support a traitor, therefore you are a traitor. That's simple. Jack has evidence. He stated that outright. He didn't say allegedly, blah, blah. Nope. Because he can prove it in fucking court. You people are traitors. Your man's a traitor. Your Reich is a bunch of traitors. America's over because of traitors and greedy people. And the devil, he helped it along. His Antichrist is in power, for fuck's sake. And Jared was up there, gave a little 5-minute There's a 5-minute clip of it anyway, and I watched the whole thing, and Jared's more enthusiastic than I ever seen him. Remember Jared in the past, there's a clip of it, I believe, or this isn't a secret. And Donnie himself, they both have made basically the same statement. Oh, great real estate over there. That's how they view it. All these people dying, that land that people were living on at the time before it was rubble. All that's irrelevant. Real estate. He presented this as some great opportunity for Gaza. He mentioned housing for a workforce. What is this, ancient fucking Egypt? You mean slaves? Is that what they're going to do with those people? Have them build the resorts that they can't afford to live in? As they get to stay in their hovel for the workers? You know, like the ancient Egyptians and shit when they're building the fucking pyramids and shit. He showed the kind of projection of what it's going to look like and everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, just like I said for days, why is Jared Kushner running Gaza? And I didn't even know that yet. I just assumed it. Here he is. And Donnie was sitting there and he was thanking Donnie for how great he is and how he made this all happen. Made it sound like some great opportunity for jobs and 100% employment, all this shit. Yeah, until it's all built. Then it's time to lay off. Don't need all them people just to man the casinos and the resorts. Need way less people than the construction phase. Look, it's a way for Donnie and Jared and many others to make a lot of money. That's all this is. And we all know it. Just another big real estate project worth trillions. That's all. We all know this ain't about the Gazans or helping people or jobs or anything like that. This is about a slave workforce building resorts for very cheap wages. Because what the fuck else are they going to do? Live in the rubble? And they all make billions on it. Jared Kushner unveils a slideshow showing the master plan, and that master plan phrase was used. I'm like, am I living in a bad fucking movie? I mean, things like this keep happening. They're like the evil villains in the story, literally, and they're using the phrase, master plan. I'm like, am I in a bad dystopian nightmare movie? What the fuck is this? It's in quotes, master plan, because he used the phrase. For the future of Gaza, asked people on media and social media to just calm down for 30 days. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. No, your plan is to build a resort. Remember the Trump Gaza commercial all those months ago? I was stunned when they released it. I'm like, here I am, the fucking insane guy yelling about the Antichrist and the end of the fucking America and the world. And I'm telling people what's going to happen. And I know they don't believe it. It's entertainment. I know. I know. And then that commercial came out. Very early on in this Reich. And for the millionth time, I know you've heard it before, the guy I said is the Antichrist had a commercial put together via AI that cost a few pennies. It really did. A quite lengthy and detailed one. Put a lot of ideas forth. Money raining down on little Gazan children that will never be allowed to live there. A beautiful kind of Atlantic City kind of coastline with all the buildings, casinos, resorts. Him and BB chilling on the pool deck. A 40-foot, I'm just giving it a size. It looked rather large. Not a little statue. 40-foot gold statue of Donnie. And it wasn't in front of a resort or anything. It was just there. On the Holy Land, son. That's what I'm talking about. The Holy Land. You understand that, right, son? Those with wisdom understand why I stress that point. Gold Donnie statues being sold by street merchants. Little Gazan children running around with balloons of gold Donnie heads. Again, am I living in a bad dystopian nightmare movie? Is he the Antichrist or something? So again, the crazy guy in sunglasses yelling about the Antichrist, the Holy Land, Donnie, BB, telling you all the details, what it is, for years, and especially right before the election, the year leading up to it, and right after the election. And then they prove every goddamn thing I said. This man would want your worship. This man wants gold statues of him fucking self on the Holy Land. Did Adolf Hitler even want that? I don't remember hearing no stories about it. That's what I mean, son. You just don't get it, son. This fucker is beyond Adolf Hitler. In the just black hole void of need and greed. His psyche needs a gold statue of himself on the Holy Land. His psyche needs your worship. His psyche needs every title, award. He needs to be Pope, King, Caesar, God, every fucking thing. He needs it. Even Adolf wasn't putting gold statues of himself on the Holy Land, son. Now we're at the point again. You saw the commercial months ago. Holy fuck, it proved every fucking thing I said. Now we're at the point, Board of Peace is formed. Donnie's at the top, 1 billion a member. He wants every country, all nations, son. New World Order, global government, all that shit Alex Jones said the liberals were going to do, yet it was Alex and you and Donnie. The whole time, son. That exact thing. And you know where else that's described, son? In the Bible. Many times in different parts. What most people don't know, and I didn't know before I opened up a Bible and then those Hal Lindsey tapes came into my life. I didn't know. What the Bible almost mostly is. Prophecy of the future. Some of it already has happened. Some of it hasn't happened yet. A good percentage, a vast quantity of that enormous book is prophecy. Once I realized that, I was like, wow, I never knew that. This is rather fascinating, actually. And I want to see all those sections. And I want to ponder them and think about what they mean. And are they relevant? Am I in it? Am I not in it? When did this happen? When did that happen? What's the criteria for the Antichrist? But back to the Board of Peace and Jared. Again, why is Jared Kushner, I said this before this happened, running Gaza? It's really Donnie running Gaza, but, you know, Jared's doing the the leg day to day, go visit Vlad with Witkoff, talk to BB. He's the man on the ground. He's, overseeing it. Anybody want to talk about Hunter Biden or anything? And all the perks he got? As Donnie grifts $1 billion a country and runs the Holy Land when he's supposed to be running fucking America? Donnie more worried about his resorts he's building all across the Middle East and Asian countries all over the fucking place. Gaza. Jared overseeing a multi-trillion fucking dollar deal and got just rebuilding the whole fucking thing. And there's only really one way to do that in the modern era. Kill a few 100,000 people, turn their homes into rubble, and rebuild the whole thing, because everything's built up now. All the good land is taken. Everyone lives there. So there really can't be any major new construction projects. I'm talking cities. There's nothing like that available anymore. Because there's people there. So there's only one way to do that in the modern era. Kill a few 100,000, make their homes rubble, bulldoze it, rebuild everything. And that's what they did. Also, the road to the temple, they all thinking about it. They've been talking about it for years. They've been making King Cyrus coins of Donnie and calling him King Cyrus and comparing him for 10 years. The temple will be built. That's been part of discussions and the agenda the entire time. Jared Kushner unveils a slideshow showing the master plan. I already read you that part. This is a different picture, though, and this is kind of what it looks like, just to get a vague idea. This is what he presented today. The technocratic leader, Jared Kushner, of the area, not a Palestinian, not a Gazan. There's not millions of Muslims out on the street protesting in various countries because Vlad ain't financing it. Neither is Egypt, neither is Syria, neither are the Saudis. Because they down. Donnie went to all the parties, both sides. Got them all on board. No stopping it now, baby. Actual building plans drawn up, getting ready to start. Got to get them slave quarters together, though, first, huh? Again, back in January, when the crazy guy in sunglasses was saying all this was going to happen, can you believe we're here? What are you going to do when they announce the rebuilding of the temple? The Board of Peace Council in its current form. These are the countries. You ready? USA, Bahrain, Morocco, Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Bulgaria. Belgium's actually not part of the list. I guess that came out when Donnie was still lying. Bulgaria, Egypt, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Mongolia, Pakistan. Mongolia is a country? I didn't know that. I thought that was like a region, but whatever. Pakistan, Paraguay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, UAE, Uzbekistan. Donnie got a lot of Muslim countries on board with him. He gonna use them against us and BB one day. I have that feeling. Just letting you know. All great countries there, right? Right. Bartiromo and Donnie again, and it looks like this at the World Economic Forum, little press moment. I watched a clip of Prince and Bartiromo from back in that. She was a young woman. She was very beautiful, actually. A totally different woman than she is now. And Prince is sitting there with a guitar, and she is enamored with Prince. And Prince is trying to get her to sing and he's going to play a little something. And she just, so what are you going to sing? You know, he's working her. So what are you going to sing, baby? Oh, I can't. Bartiromo, same woman. I can't sing anything. Oh my God. I can't. And this went on for 2, 3 minutes. And he kept just like, what are you going to sing? You know, you ready? I mean, it was full. And I didn't know. I didn't see her back then. I didn't know who she was. Um, and I know what she is now. To watch that, it's very strange. She just turned into a total like teenage girl in front of a rock star. Just enamored. It was crazy. And that's just as a side note. The Danish pension fund said their existing U.S. treasuries, exiting U.S. treasuries. European companies hold trillions of stocks and bonds from the U.S. Do you worry they'll sell those in retaliation? There's a reason she's bringing it up, because that's what the Europeans told Donnie. I told you that before this info came out. I knew Donnie backed down for a reason. I can only think of one. The only leverage Europeans really have are those treasuries. They all get together and sell them all, dump them. We're fucked. Donnie stopped all the Greenland shit because of something Europe said to him. Now we're talking about treasuries the next day, all day. Miss Bartiromo and others. And motherfuckers started selling. I explained to you yesterday, one investment group over there in Europe already kind of offloaded. That was a hint, and I figured it was, because that's a big move. That's billions of dollars. Someone's going to get real mad about that decision. Real mad. So that was a kind of to let America, let Donnie know, this could be a cascade any second. We're sending you a message here. You best take it seriously. Donnie took it seriously. No, if that happened, there'd be big retaliation on our part, and we have all the cards. Well, why did Donnie back down yesterday if we have all the cards? We don't. The entire world right now, the major economic centers, Europe and Asia, if they all got together and said, we're dumping U.S. treasuries, fuck Donnie. We're taking back control of this fucking boat called Earth. It would be catastrophically bad. And what Donnie would do in retaliation, he'd go to war with just fucking everybody. He'd have to, because America would be bankrupt. It would be fucking Armageddon. It'd be bad, man. And the world has that power right now, if they decided to exercise it. And Europe has that power right now. That's why Donnie's threatening retaliation already if they do, because that's... Empires have gone to war over that shit. Guaranteed to start a war. If they make that move. The Board of Peace is formally ratified and established as an international organization. Global. Led by the Antichrist. All countries are not on board yet. I have a feeling more will join as Donnie works them all with whatever leverage he has, including guns. New Gaza. Here's the kind of what they projected up on the wall. I want to take a look. You Bible people that know a little of what I know, can you believe you're here? Where Gaza's rubble and Jared Kushner and Donnie the Antichrist is president with the American military at his disposal, 200 troops already there. And a temple going to be built in a few years, I assume, in the next couple. They can announce it next month. Who's going to stop them? Nobody. Again, they turned Gaza into rubble. They're about to build resorts. Not one Gazan or Palestinian is in charge of anything, jack shit. Donnie runs the Holy Land, and there ain't millions of Muslims across the world protesting. This is not normal. The devil all over it. Can you believe we're at New Gaza? At gold Donnie statues. When they putting that up? A man. Golden statues of him on the Holy Land. Can you believe you're there? Can you believe the peace deal's even been made? It doesn't matter if it's legitimate or not. It's the devil we're talking about. It's the deal. The prophesied deal. Trump's Board of Peace logo is basically the UN logo repainted in tacky fake gold and with the world reduced to only North America. No, it's not only North America. It goes all the way down to the top portion of South America. Make fun of this if you will. I know what I'm looking at, son. And that's what you all need to get on the same page with. You need to know what you're looking at. I talked about a technocracy map. I believe it was right before the election when I was talking about the Dugan stuff. That was actually way before the election, the Dugan stuff. I showed you the technocracy map many times over these months. I didn't always know about this. A guy named Jim Stewartson talks about it quite often and knows a lot about it. I noticed immediately what this was. The seal of the Board of Peace. It's not just North America. It goes from Greenland all the way down to the top portion of South America. That's the literal technocracy map. That's their logo. Literal technocracy map as the logo for the Board of Peace. Proving everything that Jim Stewartson said right, except that Thales the Antichrist. He's wrong about that one. They're proving everything I said right and he said right. They're showing you, Donnie straight showing you. This is what we about right here. Technocratic map. Technocratic government running the Holy Land, running Gaza. But I know Donnie, he thinks he runs the entire Holy Land, and he does. Take a good look at that. That proves everything I've been saying. That proves everything Jim Stewartson's been saying. Fucking-crete. So laugh all you want at the cheapness of the logo. I ain't motherfucking laughing. This is what I mean when I say, I want to be wrong. I wake up every day hoping I see something that tells me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, son. Look at that. Tell me I'm wrong, son. Watch the Donnie commercial with the gold statue on the Holy Land. Tell me I'm wrong, son. I'm going to take a break now, son. You ponder that. You think about how Donnie's the head of this crazy Board of Peace that's going to run the entire world, and everyone pays him $1 billion, every single country, and their logo is the technocracy map. And a technocratic government runs Gaza and basically Palestine now. Not strange or antichristy at all. It doesn't match Revelation perfectly at all. Okay. Oh, if you want to look at the UN logo, don't worry, Donnie'll want the whole world eventually. He already does. Wants tribute from the whole world and them all to sign on the Board of Peace. Technocracy map, literally, straight up. Not a little bit, not kind of, literally. The literal symbol for the Board of Peace that Donnie sits atop of. In case you're distracted by the shiny buildings in Kushner's vision for Gaza, their plan is to keep Palestinians in hyper-surveilled prison camps where they'll eventually provide cheap labor For the resort's high rises they won't be allowed to live in, all built atop a mass grave. Yeah, yeah. A slave workforce. Of course they'll pay him something. Do they have any real bargaining leverage? They're living in tents and rubble right now. They'll take money from anybody at this point. So, of course, they're all thrilled. We get some cheap-ass fucking labor. We can pay them whatever the fuck we want. And we all make billions on these new resorts. On top of all the dead Palestinians in the rubble. Fuck, man. This shit's just straight up evil, man. It's what you see in fucking, again, dystopian movies. A bunch of futuristic real estate developers that want to futurize the whole, landscape. So let's kill everybody, bulldoze it, and build it, maybe. We see this in bad dystopian sci-fi movies. These are the literal villains using phrases like master plan. And that's what they're talking about. Kushner presented the master plan for redeveloping Gaza into a high-tech metropolis during a speech at the Board of Peace Charter signing ceremony in Davos, Switzerland. Again, Donnie's doing Board of Peace presentations at Davos when it's supposed to be the World Economic Forum. Like, what the fuck is... He's even taken that over. And making it about something, totally irrelevant to that situation. The destruction of Gaza has always been a real estate deal to enrich themselves and their friends. Yeah, we saw the commercial, right? I mean, they showed us. Despite talk of a ceasefire, the killing continues to this day. Yeah, there's still killing going on in all these disputes. Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner unveils bizarre images of new Gaza, no plan B. Oh, that's what Jared said. There is no plan B. This is the way forward. This is what we're doing. We will make it happen. In his 5-minute clip I watched. He had so much to say. Never seen him so excited. ICE agents can't piss in Minneapolis without say-so. This is Homeland Security that posted this. This is what your tax money is paying for. Complain that the Gestapo can't take a piss. I hate you. Today, Border Patrol agents who were in Minneapolis, you mean terrorizing the community, murdering people, spraying people, blinding people, grabbing 5-year-olds? You mean that stuff? So they're in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of a targeted enforcement operation. None of them are targeted. They just look for random people walking around. They come to your door, try and get you to come out. They grab people's children and hold them till the parent comes out. I've seen the videos, son. I've seen it all. Saw that woman get shot in the face 3 times, too. Did you see that? They were repeatedly harassed and blocked by hostile crowds while simply trying to take bathroom breaks. Oh my God, the poor Gestapo. You mean they're getting harassed as they terrorize the community? Go door to door? Grab children? Pepper spray children? Murder women? Kidnap people? In masks? You mean the community's mad about that? How fucking dare they, said Adolf Hitler. You fucking freaks out there in the world. As if this is remotely normal, having masked fucking scumbags in our neighborhoods, kidnapping people, murdering people. But, they get to complain on our social media that we pay for. And what I mean by that is some cunt is being paid with tax money to post this shit. As we come to your community and murder, steal, rape, pillage, terrorize, kidnap, pepper spray, assault, threaten, intimidate, shoot people in the face. You're being mean to us. You're harassing us. This is terrible. They will call evil good and good evil son, and that was prophesied. I can see Adolf putting the same statement out about the brown shirts as he sent them out to terrorize communities. You people are being so mean to the brown shirts. Why aren't you just letting them come into the community and kill you? And take whoever they want for bonus money. Why aren't you just letting it happen? Adolf Hitler made all the same arguments and deployed the same people. Why I hate you? And you know who I'm talking to. At each gas station where the agents stopped to use the restroom, groups of agitators appeared, yelled at them. Again, you mean the community that you're terrorizing? No, son, you're the agitators. You're the terrorists, you're the criminals, you're the rapists, you're the murderers. You're all of it. Kidnappers, human traffickers, literally for bonus money. I won't read the rest. Creating unsafe conditions. The Gestapo and massive machine guns kidnapping and murdering, that's not unsafe. Stopping them from taking a piss break, harassing them during their piss break, that's unsafe. And that's what the Reich dares post in front of our faces as they are attacking our communities. Murdering people, kidnapping people, taking children. I am not kidding. I am not exaggerating. While I'll hate you forever. This artist, I don't know who they are. I don't know if this is a real painting. It kind of does look like one. Boy, did they capture something here. What I mentioned about pictures in the beginning. This picture really nailed, and this is the thing about art. You don't have to be the greatest artist in the world. You don't have to do exact likenesses, although that's the hardest. Realism, exact likeness, is definitely the hardest form of painting, in my opinion. But you can capture an essence. And boy, did this person capture the essence of these two. The Antichrist and one of his favorite side pieces. Check this out. Fucking nailed it. The cross too just makes it's perfect. Nailed it. Well fucking done, whoever made this. Trump says all the polls would show him with dismal ratings across the board, including the new NYT Siena poll is fake, and he is suing them. I'll read a little bit. Again, it's a Donnie post about another lawsuit. And what are lawsuits now? The precedent's been set many, many times, over and over again, for a while now. Donnie sues you, even though you're going to win the case. You settle, you pay him, I don't know, $1,500,000, whatever. That's how it goes, and that's what Donnie's looking for every single lawsuit from the time that precedent was set, forever. Something has to be done about fake polls. They are truly out of control. We have the greatest economy in the history of the country. No, we don't. We have the strongest border. No, we don't. Nobody has ever done a job like I have done. They have me in the low 40s. The Democrats destroyed healthcare. I'm trying to fix it. They give me fake poll numbers. Let me get to the suing part. The real polls have been great. They refuse to print them. This is no different than a writer who is corrupt, and which there are many. New York Times and so many others print polls that are knowingly false. They have become deranged and sick. They suffer from a major case of TDS. Their 2024 election coverage was so bad, so wrong, yet they never get called out for it. I'm calling them out with the lawsuit that I have filed. Where'd I leave off here? Which is making its way through the courts. They have to pay a price for fake and fraudulent news, and hopefully in the not too distant future they will. NYT should have just called him a pedophile. Donnie never sues for that. Trump is now calling on Pam Bondi to prosecute Jack Smith. Again, as Jack Smith was testifying that Donnie's an abject traitor and spy, he was posting that Jack Smith is a deranged animal. Which is funny because Donnie's the Antichrist, and God literally calls the Antichrist a beast, the beast. With the wound of the sword yet lived. It's called the beast multiple times. God calls Donnie an animal. Deranged Jack Smith is being decimated before Congress. It was over when they discussed his past failures and unfair prosecutions. He destroyed many lives under the guise of legitimacy. Jack Smith is a deranged animal who shouldn't be allowed to practice law. If he were a Republican, his license would be taken away from him, and far worse. Hopefully the Attorney General is looking at what he's done, including some of the crooked and corrupt witnesses that he was attempting to use in his case against me. The whole thing was a Democrat scam. A big price should be paid by them for what they have put our country through. He means for what they put me through. And we all know what he wants to do to Jack Smith, Adam Schiff, all of them. Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, anyone that ever tried to hold him accountable. He wants to lock them up forever, if not murder them. And he will get to that point as well. That's what he really wants to do. Hitler's speech is next to his bed. That means he envied Hitler. He pondered the speeches. He planned his ascent and grift. He planned his Reich. And we know what Reichs do, don't we? The Trump Kennedy Center is thrilled to host the premiere of First Lady... First Lady Melania Trump's documentary, Melania, on January 29, just ahead of its nationwide theatrical release on Jan 30. This intimate film offers unprecedented access to the 20 crucial days leading up to President Trump's second inauguration, a rare glimpse into our First Lady's world. Tickets for the nationwide release are on sale now at theaters across the country. Oh my God. No one wants to perform and no events want to come to the Kennedy Center anymore. So you get the Melania documentary. How many of you suck up sycophants will be forced to sit at the Kennedy Center and watch this piece of shit? That's the price of being in the cult. I'm sorry. At the upper levels. Because only the upper levels will be at the Kennedy Center. Oh my God. Once again, the Kennedy Center, everyone's canceled. No one wants to perform there. So you get the Melania documentary. Trump sues J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO Jamie Dimon in a $5 billion lawsuit for debanking him for political reasons. You mean for trying to overthrow the government? That we all watched on TV. J.P. Morgan Chase, you should have called him a pedophile. He never sues for that. This picture, whoo! Whoo! Ric Flair, I wasn't even a fan, but I like that move he does. He did a little. There was a clip of Ric Flair. He's old now. He's alive. He came to his family's Thanksgiving. He showed up at the door, and I guess they figured it'd be a little social media photo op type thing. And he's wearing like jeans and some cowboy boots and like a t-shirt. And he does the little dance he used to do, I guess, when he was a wrestler. I forgot there was a little kind of dance that goes with it. And then he goes, whoo, and walks in the door to his own family's Thanksgiving. He's got to make it about him and make, a Hollywood moment out of it. It was cool, though. I liked it. But it's turning my stomach. Son, I don't know if you can feel and see the things I can feel and see. I never made them up. I'm not that kind of person. All I see in this picture, I get very strong vibes from it. Not only is it physically repulsive to look at, very strong vibes coming off it. Vibes of death and Satan. It's hard for me to look at it. It's hard for me to keep my food down right now. I'm not joking. I am queasy. I've looked at this picture many times throughout the day as I thought about it, as I gathered stuff to show you. 3-4 times throughout the day. I've come across it. Every time, same reaction. The second I see it, just caught me by surprise again. Because I forget what I've got. 60 pictures, 40, 30. I don't remember them all. I'm going to show it to you. Ready? First of all, Donnie's orange, white, and this black kind of bruise all in one picture. It's very fucked up. I expanded it a little bit. It's nauseating for me. I don't know about you. Ugh. The orange face, the hand, it's bad, man. They said he hit his hand on a table. I have a feeling it's just from IV bruising, and they don't want to say it. Because everything must be a lie, and as he turns vegetable, if he dies, which I don't think will happen, they'll just lie about it for as long as they can, and we'll get AI Donnie. That's why they're doing the experiments. Several of the little shorter proclamations are AI Donnie. Several people have noticed this. They're very convincing. I didn't know they were. That's how convincing they are. They have a plan for if he dies or if he goes vegetable. At best, he'll go vegetable. The devil will keep him alive, just like he kept Adolf Hitler alive, who was a fucking wreck. Utter drug addict, hardcore drugs being intravenously injected. Along with his Parkinson's or whatever condition, he was fucked up by 1936. And the Reich lasted until 45. The devil will keep this thing alive. He may go vegetable, though. That may be why the image is required. The AI Donnie. And again, all contingencies have been thought of already. If you're crossing your fingers again, thinking we're going to vote our ways out of this, nope, that's definitely not going to fucking happen. That he's going to die in a week, a month, a year, nope. He may go vegetable. Then it's AI Donnie. If he dies, it's AI Donnie. along with probably a J.D. Vance presidency or dictatorship. I don't think JD's ever going to get the chance, though. This picture is horrifying. It makes me want to literally throw up. Experts, Germany's gold is not safe with Trump. Bring back our gold. It's not safe with Trump. And here's the picture. Germany has gold in the United States, I guess in Fort Knox, I assume. As if Donnie didn't steal that yet, son. Remember how Leon and Donnie talked about going to Fort Knox and then they just stopped talking about it? And they never mentioned it since? As if Donnie did not steal your gold already. I just personally can't see the Antichrist with a vault full of gold, as belongs to various nations, saying to himself, yeah, I'll let them have their gold back. I just can't see it happening. What's more likely, in my opinion, is the Antichrist would say, that's my gold. That's how he sees it. That's how he views it in his head. A war could start over that. Donnie, the Antichrist, could say, yeah, I'm keeping your gold, or the gold might not be there. He already stole it. So any country like Germany, we want our gold back, as if Donnie didn't steal that shit already. And, you know, if all of a sudden we're at a war with a major, at a war, you know, out of nowhere with a country that has major amounts of gold in Fort Knox, I'll know why. You know, a country we don't expect, like Germany. Donnie could be throwing threats like that. Like, I got your gold, a lot of European countries' gold in my Fort Knox over here. I might just keep that if you don't go my way. Get on the board of peace, pay me that $1 billion. I keep your gold if you don't. This is the Antichrist. You think he's above doing shit like that? Think he's above stealing that gold already? Or just walking in Fort Knox, or looking at a picture of it, or having someone go there and video it for him and show him, and saying, this is all mine. I totally could see him doing that and thinking that way. Ron Filipkowski is giving you a breakdown of the hearing, so you don't got to watch it. I don't got to watch it, and it's beautiful. Republicans spent the entire hearing accusing Jack Smith of prosecuting Trump for political reasons and falsely claiming he was being directed by Biden and Garland. Ironically, while they were doing that, Trump was telling Bondi on Truth Social that she should prosecute Smith. There's your synopsis. Now you know what happened. This is a commenter. If they'll defend an insurrection and protect pedophiles, they won't bat an eye throwing us in gas chambers. Don't kid yourself. That's the evil we're dealing with. That's what I've been trying to tell you for 10 years. You think it can't happen? You think it's impossible? We're watching it happen. You watched a woman get executed in the most brutal of ways. Them quickly pull her body out of the car because they don't want no one to see it. Deny her medical help. Whisk the murderer away to safety because that's the priority. And defend him tooth and nail, and in fact put up a GoFundMe to where he gets over $1 million. You think these people are above exterminating people? They already have. Son. And son, that was always the plan. This Reich, they Nazis, what did Adolf do? That's what they doing. That's what they gonna do. That's simple. That simple. They believe it, son. I don't want to be talking about this shit. It's not what I want them to believe. It's what they fucking believe. So I'm talking about it. I'd rather not be. It's what I've been trying to tell you. It's why I've been yelling for 10 years. Why the anger? Why the yelling? Why the urgency? Why the seriousness? It wasn't drama, son. I knew if he was who I thought he was, yeah, we'd be gassing, exterminating people, of course. The Antichrist, of course he'd be doing that. And much worse. Yeah, well, that's going to happen. Extermination, yeah. It's happened already in several ways. But I'm talking on a mass scale. That's what the Nazis did, right? Right. These are Nazis, right? Right. This is the Nazi hobbit Bovino at the podium. Oh my God, he looks so tiny. The podium looks enormous. And I don't know if you heard, class, in the dystopian nightmare that everyone's pretending isn't going on. They grabbed a 5-year-old kid today or yesterday, and everyone knows about it. Reporter, do you have any moral or ethical qualms about detaining a 5-year-old on his way back from preschool? Bovino, the Nazi hobbit. I've got no qualms about making America a safer place when we arrest those illegal aliens. The 5-year-old illegal aliens, they're going to do something to me? They're going to hurt me in some way? You fucking 3-foot asshole. Yeah, I know that 3-foot Nazi hobbit who's going to burn hot has no qualms about grabbing 5-year-olds if they're the wrong color. I know that. And that's why he's going to burn. To say that out loud in front of people, these idiots, what they don't realize, as they're enjoying the money and the hookers and whatever they got going on, and the bathhouses, because a lot of them into that, son. They call it the Conservative Family Values Party. These statements are going to be thrown back in their face. Not by a court of law. You wish. You fuckers wish you were dealing with Nuremberg this time. You are not, son. That's what I'm here to tell you as well. You're dealing with something much more horrifying. And as Bovino begs for his life, and he will, the man gonna play these for him. He gonna hear his own voice making, I got no qualms about grabbing a fucking 5-year-old. Fuck you. How dare you even ask me? That's what he gonna hear. His own voice talking about grabbing a 5-year-old. President Trump warns of major retaliation if Europe sells U.S. securities. Yes, that was the Bartiromo clip I guess they're referencing. I told you yesterday I didn't have the information yet. I just know what leverage Europe has, and that's all they got left. And I know how much securities, U.S. bonds, U.S. treasuries, that Europe has, and it's a damn lot. I know what happens to the economy if everyone sells U.S. treasuries and offloads them. The impact would be severe enough that Donnie took it seriously and stopped him dead in his tracks. That's how bad it would be. it got the beast to slow down for a minute. He'll eventually take Greenland with the military. He won't be able to help himself unless they give it to him. It's funny, they're starting at the top of the technocracy map and the bottom. The first country they took was at the very bottom, Venezuela. And the top one is Greenland. Funny how they're starting at the starting point and the end point. The U.S. economy would implode if this happens, by the way. And by this, they mean Trump warned Europe could face big retaliation if it dumps U.S. treasuries, adding, "We have all the cards." Just like I've been saying, other people are saying it too. If Europe did that, it would get real ugly here, and there would probably be a war because the U.S. would be bankrupt. This is the press asking Donnie about his hand. I just showed you the picture, the horrifying picture a few minutes ago. We saw the bruising on your hand. Are you okay? I'm very good. I clipped it on a table, so I put a little, what do they call it, cream on it. But I clipped it. I would say take aspirin if you like your heart, but don't take aspirin if you don't want to have a little bruising. I take the big aspirin. The doctor said, "You don't have to take that, sir. You're very healthy." Jesus Christ. I said I'm not taking any chances, but that's one of the side effects of taking aspirin. Thank you very much, everybody. It's also a side effect of getting constant IVs put in your hand because you're on your deathbed. I'm assuming that's what the bruise is from. I'm assuming that the treatments are getting more intense. I'm assuming they're going into both hands. And my God, that picture. Just thinking about it makes me queasy, man. Just the devil all over it. How a former FBI employee described Kash Patel's demands for a work trip to the UK. Some info about Kash and Bongino came out today. I didn't even read this, but I figured I'd grab it just for you. Senior Executive 2. Every May, there's a Five Eyes conference with the head of every intelligence agency. This year it was in the UK. Kash Patel is going. In the lead up to that, his detail starts making crazy requests. He's got special requirements on everything, and the Brits are getting pissed. Before the conference, his staff says he's unhappy because he doesn't like meetings in office settings. What he wants is social events. He wants premier soccer games. He wants to go jet skiing. He'd like a helicopter tour. Everyone who heard about this was like, hold on. Is he really going to ask the MI5 director to go jet skiing instead of a meeting? The schedule is set and every Five Eyes partner is doing this. They can't just say that he's not participating and instead he wants to go to a premier soccer game. This is a job, guys. He wants free tickets and free jet ski rentals. That's what he's really saying here. I want you guys to hook me up. I want this to be a vacation and I want the British government to pay for it. Or whoever's in charge of this, wherever the meeting is. One, I hate you. Two, this is what fucking happens when you put a cross-eyed podcaster in charge. That's another sycophant and unqualified. They steal from you. They worried about free plane rides with their girlfriend. They worried about getting vacations when they're supposed to be attending a classified briefing with a foreign nation as head of the FBI. We're fucking doomed. This is the nightmare scenario. A bunch of unqualified sycophants in the highest positions in the world at the top of the U.S. government. With your money, your credit card to play with all day, baby. You heard his demands from the United Kingdom. They weren't hooking him up with soccer tickets and, a vacation package. I mean, haven't they put out the message clearly enough that the entire cabinet is straight up fucking on the grift 24/7? They want money. They want freebies. They want free hotel rooms. They want jet ski rentals for free. They want soccer tickets, and they want good tickets, son, not the cheap seats. The cross-eyed podcaster wants to use your jet everywhere he goes as his personal private jet because he big time now because he got your credit card, Marks. This is why we begged you not to put Grifton Astani in charge because all he wants is sycophants, and those sycophants happen to be all unqualified. And they all happen to be on the goddamn grift. And they all have your credit card, and they swiping it like water, son. Donnie included. I read the whole thing, right? Good. Now we're at the end. Donnie posted this towards the end of the day, I believe. Record numbers all over the place. Should I try for a fourth term? That's in all caps as well. And he's asking a question. Either it's a dementia moment and he thinks he's in his third term, or he's making a statement about he really was president when Biden was president because that election was rigged and that was really his second term. Or our reality, it's a foregone conclusion that he's staying for a third, so why not just jump to mentioning the fourth? That's our actual reality. Whether he meant that or not, I don't care. Because that's our reality. Words are cheap and goddamn meaningless. Our reality is we all know he's staying. He ain't going no fucking where. So the third term's a foregone conclusion. If the world lasts that long. A presidential term is 4 years. The Antichrist is given authority for 42 months. That's what, 3.5, something like that? If you start the reign countdown, his world reign from the time he won the presidency or the time he was inaugurated, he wouldn't even make it through the term. The world wouldn't make it through the term. America wouldn't either. That'd be the end. Again, Brother James Key thinks it's 10 years. He's got to build his world kingdom. He's building it pretty quick. This could all be over before there even is a third term. I have a feeling it won't be, though. Because what's typical is what is always happens in my life anyway. And by typical, I mean whatever fucks me over the most. And what would fuck us all over the most is this lasted 12 years like Hitler's reign or something like that. So the typical will probably happen. Again, my prediction was about 3.5 years from the time he won the presidency. I'm probably wrong, because typical. But again, a third term, if we make it to that point, if there's that much time left before all the shit hits the fan, Jesus coming back and doing things, which appears likely. The third is a foregone conclusion. We all know it. Maybe that's what he means. Maybe that's why he's talking about the fourth. Or maybe he means that that second election was rigged and he was supposed to win and he didn't, but he was really president then, and maybe that's what he's trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the third term is a foregone conclusion if there's that much time left. Because Donnie already said he runs the world. Very shortly after January. I forget how many months in. It wasn't that long. I don't know. The typical is more likely, though, because the typical, in my experience, observing this world is what's always happens. What always happens, excuse me. Whatever's worst always happens. So, crazy guy in sunglasses is probably wrong about the timeline he was giving initially of 3.5 years, 42 months from the time he got the keys back. Because God or his imp or the universe or whatever likes typical. And by typical, I mean whatever fucks you over the most. The Antichrist reign lasting 1 second longer than the 3.5 from January is what would fuck us over the most. So, but again, when he got the keys back right before that, when I saw Assassination Day, all that, I knew if he got back in, we gonna ride the wave till Armageddon. And it appears we're gonna ride that wave. But again, I felt a sense of urgency. So I'm really hoping, but my hopes always get dashed. By typical. I'm really hoping it's only 3.5 from January. But just like entropy, typical is inevitable, and the devil always wins. Until Christ comes back. If that's real. I can't prove it to you. I can't prove God and Jesus. But what's taking place before me proves it to me. But again, all I've seen is typical, so I don't know what that divine thing looks like. A Christ coming back on the clouds. Is that just fantasy? Is that wishful thinking by doomed humans in the typical realm? Like little children need to believe something. An entire army being eviscerated, the largest army ever gathered by some divine being. And him ruling the earth. And all the bad people going in the fire. Sounds very desperate, doesn't it? Sounds like a story that humans need to believe to get through this typical, this misery, this joke. Almost like a fairy tale. Makes it quite difficult to believe, doesn't it? especially when all we've seen is typical. All I know is this, because I can't prove it to you, and I've always admitted that I can't prove God to you, son. Requires faith. And no, God does not show himself. If he did, that would eliminate the requirement of faith. Everyone would just know God exists. They would realize they're being watched. They wouldn't be real. Everyone's being real right now. Because God does not show himself. If he exists, again, I can't prove it. It makes logical sense, though. Yeah, that takes the faith requirement away if you know he exists. And it would also give away the game that we're all being watched. Then you won't really be you, will you? All I can say is this, and I'll end this piece of shit. I studied prophetic writings for decades. I always wondered if I was living in that time. I always wondered what paradigm is the true paradigm. Buddha, Muhammad, Stoicism, Eastern philosophy, witchcraft, Christianity. And I looked into all of them, son. I found all of them wanting except for one. I found all messiahs wanting except for one. I found all gospels wanting except for one. So these prophecies, these end times things were laid out. There are strict criteria that the people must meet or the situations must meet. And if it doesn't fit, then it ain't it, son. I'll use one as an example, so this doesn't take 3 hours. A head wound that heals. And that head wound that heals moment becomes a central part of things because it's mentioned multiple times. The person is described multiple times. The beast that has the wound of the sword and yet lived. Whether it's real or not doesn't matter. That moment took place. Other moments have taken place that have utterly, totally, and completely validated those stories I studied for decades. And when I personally saw that Assassination Day moment, I knew it was the Antichrist 10 years ago, like I said. I was hoping I was wrong and I would see something. Then comes Assassination Day, and all my hopes are dashed in a fucking instant. And it becomes a central idea for the Reich. Statues, coins are made. Paintings, murals the size of fucking houses. The event is talked about. What I'm trying to say to you is that moment proved to me which paradigm is correct. That would be the Christian God who made a devil and that Jesus Christ story. And I also understood Not only is that the paradigm we all live in, whether you believe it, agree, think about it, care, doesn't matter, irrelevant. If a God created you, that is the truth. There is no disputing or arguing it. He is God. He made you. That's simple. You either respect that or you don't. That event and other events, I have verified it for me personally. That, again, one, the paradigm is the Christian God. And all that goes along with that. That is the correct, that is the true, that is the only. And two, you in the end times, you in the apocalypse. We are. For certain, for sure. Those are the two verifications I got from that moment. Why I'm here every night talking to you. Because that's how fucking serious it is. And it has cost me many things in many ways. So understand those two things, for it is proven, thrown in your face daily, unfortunately. The evidence that it's all real. The Reich, the end, the apocalypse, Revelation, and the other prophetic writings. I always wondered once I discovered them, is this legit? Is it real? Is it going to happen? Is there a God? Is there a Jesus? Or are one of the other paradigms correct? And then all the steps of Revelation started happening. The most important step of all, the Antichrist, the head wound. So two things again, and I'm out of here. He is the Antichrist. The Christian God is the paradigm you live under, whether you like it or not, son. I didn't make it. I'm not God. I didn't write this paradigm. I didn't create it. I have no control. I'm just giving you the information. You do the fuck with it what you want. The Christian God, Jesus, the devil, all that. That is the paradigm. What part of the paradigm are you in? What part of the story that has an end, son? You're at the end. Not the very end. But what the Bible prophecy world people call the end times. Not only that, the Antichrist is here now, and this is his full reign right now. He's given 42 months of authority. The trick is knowing when to begin counting that 42 months. Again, Brother James Key thinks we have more like 10 years. He's got to get his world kingdom together. I don't think that. I think it was more like 3.5. So you either accept this God and that Jesus, or you don't. That's up to you. I won't be mad at you either way. I will be sad for you, though. There are certain people I've been thinking of lately, and I keep asking myself, will they take the mark? I go over what I know of them, and I ask myself, will they take it? And I don't like the answer I come back with. That's the point the imp and the Antichrist want to get all of us to. Thousands of years. This has been in the making. Where he can be omnipresent, AI is the first chance at that. Ever. World subjugation and domination by the devil and the Antichrist and others. And the ultimate moment, the moment that all of this was about, all the thousands of years. The moment of choice. Where you're presented a mark and a decision, a choice. Do you want to worship the real God? Or whatever you worship? Or do you want to worship the beast and the image and take the mark? That is the choice you must make. And it's deadly serious. And that's where all this is going. And that choice will decide the rest of your experience in this misery we call existence. Whether you live, get past the second death, make it past the lake. That's a decision you're making. You're also making a decision to betray God or not. And worship the literal devil. Make the right choice. Don't take the mark. That's the point of every video I do. I hope you have a wonderful, I can't even talk, wonderful evening. Good evening.